All right, Brian, how is it going, my man?
Really good.
Good man, good man. Brian, for those watching, whether it's now or later, just give everyone 30 seconds on who you are, where you're from, what you're all about.
Okay, I'm Brian. I'm from New Zealand. Uh, I specialize in helping people lose weight. I was really big for the first 21 years of my life. At 14 years old, I was 140 kgs, maxing out at about 170 before I decided to lose the weight. Got me into becoming a PT. Now, like, PT is awesome, love it, but have a family, so trying to convert to online the last year, and it's basically just kicked the shit out of me.
So. Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, your story is super inspirational, mate. What you've done with your own body and health is obscene. Like, it's just so ridiculous, so amazing to hear, and just the fact that you're helping other people with that now is what this is all about. So, yeah, man, we connected 3 weeks ago. And you were coming from a place where, like you say, you've been struggling a while with this whole online game, like many of us do, all of us do, I guess, to start with. Not really seeing the success for your efforts. So tell us a little bit more about where you were 3 weeks ago, what the frustrations were, how you felt. Talk to us a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about your success.
Well, let's see. When I first started as a PT, I had a business mentor. I paid him an ass load of money to basically give me two clients that paid him more money, and then also not really taught a lot, just copy what I do. So it got me really good at getting more clients on, but didn't teach me the tools to do it myself. When I went online, I ended up getting a couple different mentors throughout the time, who would basically just ream me out, take my money, and say, we've got all the information you'll need, you'll be good. And then you'd get a big information dump, and shit, where do all the pieces go? What do I do? So I was just coming off the back end of that, being clueless, running in the wrong direction, not having an idea which piece goes where, seeing some sort of leap in the right direction when I just focused on one thing at a time, but then I would once again not know what to do the following step, even though I had all that information there, put the wrong piece in front of me, and then fall off another cliff.
Yeah, mate, that's going to resonate so much with so many people in the online space. I guess building any business, but because we're talking about the online, like, it's super relevant, because I was the same, right? There's plenty of people out there giving information, but we know that information is literally worthless without guidance, and the guidance to implement it consistently and understanding what to do at what stage. And yeah, mate, we've all been there. So absolutely understand where you're coming from. And I know a lot of people watching this will as well. They'll have tried various things, they'll have had various mentors, and they'll have found that information is, what most people are selling. So what's been different about your journey with us over the past 3 weeks, and what kind of success have you been able to see so far, mate?
Well, to begin with, the big difference is, like, when I become a PT, one of the parts is full honesty. Same thing, all the information is out there online. There's so much information, so many people have done, amazing things with information that isn't the best. Getting a PT is a way of getting the best information for you and getting the best results for, your money and your time. So jumping on board was actually that, step-by-step process actually helped walk me through, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to focus on, these are the steps you should be taking. So just doing that in 3 weeks, instead of walking around aimlessly, I was able to get 4 sales calls booked in, and 3 of them went absolutely amazing. Sold 4 people on 3 calls, and I butchered 1 call, but it was more because I couldn't dig into the person's pain. They just wouldn't open up.
You did it. You didn't butcher it, mate. Trust me. So yeah, just for clarity, there, yeah, you ended up selling one on one call. You sold two people because it was husband and wife, which is insane. So yeah, four. So basically, let's call it. It's four sales from four calls, but obviously there's this additional call that you're quite hard on yourself. Trust me, mate. 75% close rate is absolutely obscene. Like it's incredible. So, mate, testament to you as well for taking the action, because at the end of the day, nobody can do this for you. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, whether it's me or anyone else. Like, you've still got to take the action, pull the trigger, and do the work. And testament to you, man. Like, you've been in the trenches doing the work, and all I've had to kind of do is guide you and make sure that next step, that next big push, is towards the right thing, is pressure applied towards the right thing, as opposed to where most of us find ourselves, which is loads of pressure applied to the wrong things, or scattered focus and wasting heaps of time and money over years and not getting anywhere. So, mate, that's awesome to hear. And you have absolutely crushed it, man. Like, 4 sales in 3 weeks is phenomenal. And we've not even launched adverts yet. We've literally just finished up a coaching call where we've got your adverts ticking over. So talk to me about how you feel going forward, mate, for not just for the rest of this program, but going forward. How do you feel about the online business now you've learned these things and you're finally making sales and you've got a bit more belief?
I'm excited. Like, we went over stuff like sales and talking to people was the hardest thing for me, because selling myself is just not something I've ever done or liked doing. And now I'm excited to get on the phone with more people. How the hardest part is creating content.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I've got loads of content when I just sit down and think about how miserable I was in my teenage years. So
exactly, man. Well, that's the beauty of dialing in your niche and being very linked to it. Like, for anyone watching, if it's one insight you can take from this, it's the easiest niche you're going to choose is a previous version of yourself 3 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever.
Well, that's the thing, is that's the first thing. It's why I was really wanted to jump on, is because the first call I had with you had more insight into stuff that all the other previous mentors I've had, didn't. I was working with a niche that, sure, my story can relate to, but at the end of the day, they're less likely to open up to me. And it's just something my first mentor threw me into as a niche, because he goes, mothers are fat, they've got their paunch stomachs, and they want to drop that body weight. If you make them cry in front of you, they'll work with you. And, it was an absolutely miserable time working with that person.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking archaic advice. But look, again, you're not alone there. We've all had pretty poor advice from different people generally. And you would be amazed. In fact, every single person I speak to doesn't have the very first step. Otherwise, we wouldn't be speaking, right? We're speaking because they failed to dial in the very first step of becoming an online coach. And I did the same, At the end of the day, if you've got a weak niche, and a niche is not just mums or dads, it's about getting clear on the psychographic of that individual. What's their real pain? What do they really want? What's the emotional, yes, the physical result, what's the emotional result attached to that they deeply desire? And being able to speak to that, that's everything. Niche and offer. What is your offer? Is it irresistible, and is it speaking to one person? At the end of the day, yours was staring us in the face. It's like, you used to be massive. You used to be morbidly obese, probably, I guess would be the category. So you've managed to escape from that. You've got the tool that they need to escape from obesity. Why aren't we helping obese people escape, young obese men escape from obesity? And it was so clear to me. And now we've dialed that in. It's just so much easier to create content, like you mentioned, create content around that, talk to people on the phone, sell people on the phone. I know it's been a bit different because we've had this looser niche to get some of those existing people from your world. So yeah, you've ended up working with a wife and husband combination, which is fine. Yeah, you can help her, but our main target, our main niche is, a previous version of Brian. And there's so much power in that, because you're not competing with anybody then, because no one else has got Brian's story. No one else can do what you do exactly, right? So yeah, really good point, mate, that you bring up that the very first thing, like, is what we talked about was niche, not just from a demographic, it's not just okay to say, mums over 30 or professional dads. Like, all we've done there is chosen a part of the market, which is demographic, but that's not going to pull that person in on a deeper level. The things that you're able to say, Brian, to your young men struggling with obesity is just immediate connection and speaking to them better than they know themselves, which I think is massive. So yeah, really, really good point, mate. And got your adverts up and running today. So that's going to be ticking over now. We're going to be bringing a lot of new people into your world. What have you enjoyed the most, man, about this journey over the past 3 weeks? Yeah, what's it been that's been the best value for you, or what you've enjoyed the most?
Honestly, it's how easy it is compared to everything else I've done. When I first, my first mentor basically said, you're gonna have to put 40 hours a week into growing your business as a PT. And I laughed. I was like, I remember my first part-time job too. You know, I've always done big 70-hour weeks, that sort of shit. And then when it comes to all the other courses I've done, I'm like, okay, well, now you need to plug 80 hours in, plug 90 hours in, you need to do this, you need to do that. Whereas we jump on, I get all the steps done, and I can sit down with my family at the end of the night and actually be able to switch off, whereas I'm not going back to the thing, go, shit, I haven't done this, or I should do this, I need to do this. And then at the end of the day, I've come further by actually following simple steps and being able to switch off at night.
Yeah, so good to hear, mate, with the young family over there. And that's why we do this, right? That's why we go online. It is hard work, but there's a very big difference between, you know, easy and simple. Like, this is simple. That's the thing. Like, it's not easy. Like, you're doing the hard work, man. You're putting in the time required in the graft. And I think that's a really important distinction, because too many people think this is easy, right? But the difference is, like, it's not. It's actually hard. It's actually hard, but it is simple.
Especially opening up about content. That's, you know, you've got to put yourself in your own wee sort of world for that. You can't, you can't just sit there for 20 minutes and go, oh, well, I was a fat shit when I was a kid. So, you know, listen to me. You've actually got to sit there and dig in deep and find out why you're making that for this person. So, yeah, simple is the best way to put it.
Yeah. And that's the thing with content, right? Like, you're better to create one piece of content a week that's meaningful and deep and talking to your person than one a day that's talking general health and fitness, right? Ultimately, like, it's way better. It's easier. You'll get more clients. It's simpler. Like, it's quite incredible, man. So, mate, credit to you for taking the action, the uncomfortable action at times as well. A lot of the stuff we're doing is not second nature to us. You know, we're coming from PT backgrounds or in-person health and fitness of some sort. You know, it's all alien to us. Adverts, sales, you know, understanding marketing, becoming good at speaking to one person, messaging, like, it's all new. So yeah, my credit to you taking the action, and this is literally just a start. 4 sales, 3 weeks. Mate, let's get this thing pumping. What would you say to anyone else about jumping on board? They might be on the fence about jumping on a call with me and talking about how I can help them. What would you say to those guys?
Do it. Trust me, best thing I've ever done. I've got full body psoriasis because of all the stress I've had from the paying courses and all of this, and it's starting to clear up just from the lack of stress I've had over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, mate, that's insane. I had no idea about that. That's so good to hear, dude. So good to hear. Mate, thanks so much, Brian. Thanks for your time, mate. Thanks for committing to yourself in this program. And it's just incredible to see you grow so fast. And I just literally can't wait to see what's to come, man. So thanks again, dude.
Thank you.
All right, legend. No problem.